Hi everyone, Steve here, and thank you for attending this very special webcast. And for those of you who are going to be watching this as a recording, welcome to the video. I'm really excited to be working with AgenaTrader. It is a great platform that complements the Nison candle scanner. I'm going to just do a brief introduction, and then I'm going to turn it over to Gilbert, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, who's the founder of AgenaTrader. So he'll give you a little bit about his background, and we'll tell you how he pronounces his last name. And then Brian Hootson, who many of you have worked with here at CounterCharts.com, will show you how to use NCS within the AgenaTrader platform. But essentially, the format is, as I mentioned, I'll do the introduction, and then Gilbert will show you some of the really great features about AgenaTrader. And the reason I'm so excited working with them is they have very advanced features, but so simple to use. For example, they have a Western indicator, just support or resistance, which is great because normally you don't see that on any platforms. And for those of you who follow our work, you know how important it is for a candle signal to confirm support or resistance. Keep in mind, you could use this platform anywhere in the world. It's really easy to set up a trading strategy, and again, Gilbert will show you how to do that with a few clicks. You'll get a candle signal. You can get a candle signal, and then you could set an initial stop and select a target method, and then literally within seconds you have a trade set up. Gilbert will also show you what's called a condition escort, and Agena has fully integrated risk and money management. They have a trading journal. They have drag and drop signal programming. Something really cool also is they have Traders Yard where you can talk with or chat with other traders around the world. So a lot of really powerful features that I'm really excited to have complement our Nison Candle Scanner. And just to briefly remind you what Nison Candle Scanner is, and if you could show the next slide, Gilbert, as you just did a second ago. This has been software designed personally by me. It has 28 of my favorite candlestick signals, 14 bullish and 14 bearish candlestick signals, and you can use it at all time frames. It says intraday and end of day, but you can even use it on weekly charts. It doesn't matter. And with the scanning, you could scan literally thousands of markets in just a few seconds, depending on the power of your computer. And this part is important, can be combined with your strategy. And this is where Agena is such a perfect fit with NCS, because between the candlestick recognition of NCS, Nison Candle Scanner, and the easy ability to add Western technical indicators, support or resistance, setting up a trading strategy in AgenaTrader, it's really kind of like your 1-2 punch for trading success. The next bullet about NCS saves hours of time, and that's because you could literally find potential trade setups within seconds, rather than going through market after market after market to find a good candle signal. This being NCS, filters the market for you to refine what could be thousands of markets down to a few, to then hone in on a potential trading strategy. So with great excitement, I want to turn it over to Gilbert. He'll show you just some of the amazing features in AgenaTrader, and don't let its power get you nervous. It's really very intuitive, very easy to use. So I'll turn it over to you now, Gilbert, and then after Gilbert, Brian will get on and show you how to use NCS within the AgenaTrader platform. Over to you, Gilbert.
Yes, many thanks for introduction, Steve. Pleasure to hold this webinar together with you. Would like to welcome everybody here on in this webinar, wherever you are in the world. We are here in Europe, in Austria, Vienna. It's about 11 o'clock already in the night, so a little bit late here. Yeah, what I would like to show you is, as Steve already mentioned this, I would like to show you some of the key features of AgenaTrader. We have a great partnership with Steve, with Candle Charts. We have integrated the NCS package here, and as you already can see here, we have here AgenaTrader running. Basically, the markets are stopped currently already. So I show you most of the things here in the end of day, week and monthly, charts, but of course Forex is also running, and there you will see something also in intraday charts, how AgenaTrader is working. So basically AgenaTrader is an extremely powerful platform. As Steve already mentioned, it's perfect for scanning candlestick patterns NCS with the NCS package, because you see here basically we have here about 400 stocks loaded out of the S&P 500. So basically what you can see here is this is basically as a Forex list in different time frames. This is the Dow 30, this is the Nasdaq 100. So here in the list, some of the S&P 500s, the first 100, the second 100, the third 100 of S&P 500, and so on. Basically, in AgenaTrader, you are able to scan thousands of symbols at the same time, also in intraday time frames. So this is not just that it is on a daily base or on a weekly base. Basically, as you see here, we have here the scanner, and in the scanner you see here 15 minutes, 1 day, 1 week. And if, for example, if you would like to add a 1 hour scanning column here, you just go with the right mouse click onto the columns dialog. You select another column here. You select where they should come from. For example, here Nison, from the Nison package, you would like to see the 1 hour column here. So basically now you have defined this, and now you will see here the system is loading also the one hour column here. It will take a little while to get the signal here. You can move it over. So now you already see here basically the one hour signals in this scanner. And of course, whenever 15 minutes is changing, 5 minutes is changing, you will get new signals here based on the current time frame where you are scanning. So basically, this is just extremely powerful. You don't even notice it when the markets, when a new period is starting. So extremely fast, and you can really scan through hundreds and even thousands of instruments in real time. But the cool feature is, and where it really becomes very interesting, is basically if you get a signal, you just double click it and you immediately get a setup placed into the chart. So basically I'm talking about the Andromeda version. We have a basic version, but the Andromeda version is the advanced version, and there this functionality is there. So basically whenever you get a signal out of the NCS package, you can just double click it. You immediately see here the entry order, you see here the stop order, you see here the target order. But the cool feature on that is you also get a order size, and you see the risk, and you see the profit possibility out of this. If you would like to trade it, you can, on the one hand, if you would like to say, okay, the stop is too close, I would like to move it away, you can move it away, and automatically the order size gets recalculated. You're in the same risk. You see about 70 euros in this case. If you move the stop closer, you now get 47,000 currency units. So you don't have to take care about the risk and money management, because this is provided by the system. But this is not only a setup with a stop and with a target. This is a complete strategy. As you see here, you see different stop possibilities, and you could easily change them. And if you decide to get into the trade, you just hit the button, then the order is sent to the broker. You see here the order connections, and as soon as the market picks up the entry order, also the stop order and the target order will be sent to the broker. So basically, from this moment on, you don't have to take care about this trade anymore. It's going to be managed automatically after that. But you always have the possibility to enter into this strategy, and you can change it manually all the time whenever you want. So this is the difference, and we call it semi-automatism. This is the difference to full automatism, because when you have a full automated system, you program it, you need to know a programming language, you need to know you need to, when it's running, then you cannot stop it. You cannot interact with the strategy. Here, in our case, with the signal automatism, you get your signal, you decide to get into a trade. Maybe if you decide, you just double click, and then you can do whatever you want afterwards. You can always interact with the strategy. And this makes trading very transparent, and also replicable, because you're always doing the same. When you're getting signals, you know exactly that the system will take care about the many different steps. A strategy needs to be properly placed into the charts, into the markets. Okay, so what now? How do you, if you would like to create your own signal, or maybe in combination, which also makes sense, in combination with the NCS signals, how can you create a new signal here? This is very easy, and Steve already mentioned it. This is possible via the AT++ manager or the condition escort. Let's open the AT++ manager. AT++ means this is basically the functionality, the semi-automated environment. So, okay, here we have the so-called condition escort. AgenaTrader allows that you can program your own signals without knowing a programming language. So basically, here you see an RSI signal, RSI long, RSI short, whatever. And here you see the different criteria to, for example, program your own strategies or your own signals. So basically, if you would like to, for example, you have an RSI long, whatever, and you would like to combine it with a with another signal or with another criteria, for example, here you, for example, you can select, let's say, one of the Nison candlestick patterns, let's say the bearish harami, or the this is a long, let's say, a bullish harami. So you can just drag and drop it here down. You have the possibility to select if it's greater, smaller, equal. But if you are using a candlestick signal, basically it always gives you 1 or 0 when you would like to scan this signal also. So basically, if you say here, this is, if it's equal 1, basically, so here you would have added a new criteria, and in this case, the complete condition, the complete signal would be true if the upper part plus the bullish harami would occur. So this is very easy to program. Here you have the possibility to compare with AND or XOR. Here you have the possibility to end brackets. So you are extremely close to real programming, like knowing a programming language, but you don't need to know. This is because you find all the criteria what you would like to see here. You see here the open, high, low, close. You see here different indicators what you can use, and something like this. And also in combination with the Nison candlesticks condition, you can just add it to your conditions. So very easy to program it. The next is, whenever you have programmed it, of course, you would like to see these signals in the different scanners. And to do this, to get them into the different scanners, we have the so-called setup escort, where you can program your strategies. So to have a signal is always good, but of course, you need to know what to do. And as you have just seen before, I just do it again. When you get a signal, you would like to get it as a strategy, where you have an entry, where you have a stop, where you have a target. And this is something you can do in the setup escort. So let's get to the session we are using here. And here, basically, you see all the different signal possibilities you have, and they which are checked, they are scanned. Okay, so basically these ones with the check mark here you will find in the scanner. So, okay, if you have programmed, let's say, a new signal and you would like to, let's say, a third long signal and you would like to assign stops and targets to it, you see here a selection of different stops and a selection of different target possibilities. To assign them, you just go to the configuration, you select this new, where is it? Third long, for example. You have here initial stop possibilities where you can say, okay, I would like to use the Kaltner channel, the hard rail, which is, for example, parabolic. We also have a virtual soft stop where you can, for example, use outside bar stop, and you also can select, maybe you would like to see two different targets, multiple risk targets with 2 different levels. So basically with these 5 mouse clicks, you have programmed the complete strategy. And the advantage is that since these methods are already used by millions of times, they are working. So you don't need to test it anymore, that the outside bar is really working like an outside bar, or parabolic is working like a parabolic. They are working like this. The same with the target. So basically, very easy. First, in the condition escort, program your signal. In the setup escort, just select it, what you would like to see in the scanner. Go to configuration, select your stops, your initial stop. The initial stop is always where the risk is calculated from. Okay, the first one where it's set to. Then there is a hard rail stop. This is exactly this, what you see here, after which method stop should be trailed. Soft trail is a virtual stop, and multiple risk is the target, and then you are done. So the next thing is, of course, you also would like to set up your risk definitions. You would like to risk, let's say, 0.5% of your account. You would like to risk $300 or whatever per trade. And of course, this is always very, very complicated to calculate, because most of the time you need an Excel sheet. If you are in a 5-minute chart or the 1-minute chart, there is no time to calculate the risk or the order size so fast. So you're just, most of the time, people are just trading any order size. But here you don't have to calculate this, because it's done automatically. And what's also being done is here, for example, it always calculates the instrument to your target profit and loss. That means, for example, we have now here set it in euros. This is a euro Japanese yen, so the profit and loss and the order size is calculated to euros. If you would trade USD Japanese yen, it also would be calculated and converted to euros. So you don't have to make all this conversion anymore. Everything is done automatically. You don't have to think about this anymore. So what this helps is you can really concentrate on trading and not doing any other routine stuff all the time. So basically here you see what the risk definition is. We are here in FXCM, Forex. So we are selecting here currencies, FXCM, Forex. We have set up here 0.5% of the account size. You also could say, I would like to, let's say, 300 euros, $300 or whatever. You can set up your target currency very easily. So, and then if you select this, then every trade would just be calculated to a risk of 300 euros. So extremely easy. We have set up here 0.5. So in our case, 0.5 gives you exactly a risk amount of around 70 euros here. If everything is set up here, you can just say okay, and basically you have defined your complete trading environment. And you can be sure that after doing this, you can just wait for your signals. You can look at them if it makes sense. And this is also one thing what we have implemented. You see it here in different time frames. So that we are here now in 15 minutes. So of course, the higher time frames, which would be interesting, might be the 15 minutes, the 1 hour, and the 4 hours. And so you see immediately always how the market is looking like. You can add here a fourth chart if you want. So this is just changeable however you would like to see it. But you always see when you go through it, it's very fast loading. Basically, you just go to any instrument, you see here the symbols, you click on it, and the charts are loaded very fast. You just, moment. Yeah, okay. So very fast, you don't even notice it that there is something loaded behind. Good. This is basically, these are the so-called must-have tools, we call them in AgenaTrader. So the scanner, which is extremely powerful, where you can really scan through hundreds of instruments in real time. As I already mentioned, the getting back to the condition escort, where you can very easily program your own signals just via drag and drop. The setup escort, where you can program your strategies very, very easily. And the risk management, where you can set up for different accounts, for different brokers. Here, for example, you would like to set up the different risks. You can set up different risks for futures, let's say, and different risks for, okay, FXM does not provide futures, but here, for example, interactive brokers, another risk definition for futures, then, for example, for currencies and something like this. So this is possible if you just change it here for currencies, you go back to futures, you see here for futures you have 0.5, for currencies you have 0.2. So, okay, this is basically then how the semi-automatism works. The next thing is what Steve already mentioned is, for example, the support resistance indicator. And this is one thing also what we have here in AgenaTrader. We have this so-called dynamic indicators. So basically, it's always, if you're working with different indicators, there is always the problem you're wasting, or you have a lot of space here for your indicators, but basically maybe you do not want to see them all the time. So your possibility here is basically you can just click them away. You can add them. This is the so-called action bar. And in the action bar, you can define all your shortcuts you would like to have for the chart. And of course, also the indicators, these are somehow put to the shortcut bar here, to the action bar. And when you hover with the mouse over them, you just oversee the indicator which you would like to see. And otherwise, you have the free chart. You don't have to, you don't see these indicators. If you have a preferable indicator, for example, the volume you always would like to see, you just click on it and then it's static. And so we also have here the support resistance indicator, where you would, if you would like to see if you are going into support or resistance, just hover with the mouse over here to this button, and you will see immediately where are the critical highs and lows, where you should be careful. Is there something in front where the market could turn around or something like this? Here is also the info. When you click on it or when you hover over it, you see immediately what you're trading here, what this instrument is. One more feature, what Steve also was mentioning, was basically the spikes, this oscillator. When you would like to see where, for example, which of the NCS signals occurs. Here in the chart, there is a lot of noise, basically, because you see many of these signals. So maybe you would not immediately find out when in the history was, when did this occur. So what we here have is basically, you can do it also with the mouse hovering. If you would like to see when a certain signal occurred, you just hover with the mouse over it, and you see immediately, okay, this one was just occurred here. We got here this signal ES minus ES. This is a short one. So if you would like to move it away, you click on that again, and so you can just go through them very, very fast, and you get exactly that information you would like to see in the chart, and see it historically, very, very transparent. Yes. So next is basically the workspace management is also very, very easy. We have implemented a docking tabs system where you can basically, if you would like to change your workspace, you can move the tabs around wherever you want. You can detach windows to other monitors. You can attach them again to the main window. So you can be very, very flexible to build up your workspace. And of course, you have the possibility to set up different workspaces, whatever you would like to see. So that means your market preparation workspace, or your trading workspace, your Forex workspace. So however you would like to do it, you can just set it up here, save the workspace, and then next time when you start, you will get it again automatically with the last saved workspace, or you can change it anytime. One more thing is what we are offering here in Agena. This is an add-in, so-called. When you have a lot of signals, basically, it's quite hard to always click on them, even if you trade, for example, in 15 minutes or in 5 minutes. So you always need to click around here and find the latest signals. Therefore, we have provided, this is a new feature, the so-called dynamic scanner. In the dynamic scanner, you just only see signals. So that means basically whenever new signals are coming into the different scanners, you will see them here automatically. So basically this here helps you that you are just really the collector and hunter of signals anymore when you have this add-in. So basically here you're just waiting, and whenever one of the other lists gives a signal, you just look at it. If you say, okay, I would like to trade it, you can drag and drop it here. You are already in the right time frame here. You see this is basically the signal. If you want to trade it, just double click, and then you have already the correct order size. You say, okay, this is something I would like to trade now. You hit the button, and then whenever the market comes up here, you are in the trade. So basically this is the main features I would say that the main features of AgenaTrader. The key features, the semi-automatism, because this makes AgenaTrader really strong, and our users love these features here. Really, they start to program their own signals, their own strategies. They, of course, you can backtest all this stuff. So we have backtesting on board here. We have a trading journal on board here where all the trades are automatically stored, and you can report them afterwards. You can look how did your trading perform. Are many different matrices and so on. So we have a lot of tools here in AgenaTrader which you might not find in other platforms. We have really a whole combination of good combination of really useful tools in AgenaTrader. Yes. Something else, I think I need to go back to the presentation. Maybe I should tell you some words about me, why I created this platform. Basically, I'm a software engineer since more than 20 years. I have trading experience. I was trading for a prop trading company. Basically, I have also developed our own trading style, so-called location point trading, which I also educate and promote. And yes, basically, we are here based in Vienna, as I already told you. And our goal is with the whole platform, and not only with the platform, and this is just the next thing I would like to show you is the so-called Trader's Yard, what we just started off here. we would like to make trading easier. And what we also have recognized is that trading is quite complicated, not only because the markets are complicated, trading is complicated also because most of the traders are, it's a lonely endeavor. Let's say it like this. Most of the traders are need to make their decision by their own. It's very hard. Don't have to talk to somebody. Cannot ask somebody else. How should I maybe interpret a market, or is a signal good or not good? And what we have developed is, beside AgenaTrader, is basically socialized trading with Traders Yard. Traders Yard is a worldwide social network. We have just started it a few days ago. We have presented it in London at the London Forex Summit 2 weeks ago. And what the advantage, just a moment where we are, Traders Yard is, I just give you a brief introduction. Traders Yard works like a social network, like, you know, Facebook, like LinkedIn and something like this. So basically you have here in Traders Yard your own timeline, what you are posting. You have here basically the timeline, what people are posting, where you get all the information, different charts. You can find your friends here, people who have signed in. You can look for friends. You can look for other traders. For example, very easily to find some people, you can see at the leaderboard what traders are doing, how they are performing. You see the top authors, basically most active people. You see mostly recommended users who have gotten most likes from other users. We have groups here. We have upcoming events where you see, for example, the next webinars, where you see the events out of the Traders Yard environment and everything like this. So basically, it's Facebook for traders, LinkedIn for traders, but it's a little bit more, because what you also can do is you can create groups. And in these groups, for example, companies or people who would like to provide information or would like to find other traders, they can group each other in groups. And as you see here, for example, AutoChartist just also started to post here. It's a very well-known company, and they just see here the possibility to just give information, to share information in Traders Yard. But we also have here webinars, and this is the cool feature on Traders Yard, is that it's not only a Facebook or a social network, it's combined with a conferencing environment. And via this conferencing environment, people can really meet each other in real time. So basically, you see here a list of different groups where you are assigned to, where you have joined these groups. And within these groups, let's go here. I'm just opening, just a moment, a picture that you can see how people are. Or here you see already that here there is live streaming environment directly implemented in the AgenaTrader. And for example, if you would like to stream, Dejan is already coming in, yeah. You would like to share your screen, you just click here on screen sharing, and then it's streamed into the group. If you would like to share your camera, will take a while. Hello out there, I'm here. So basically, this is directly implemented in AgenaTrader, and this helps basically, or and allows and enables users to meet each other, like we have already here I made a screenshot before the market closed, and this is what happens. For example, this is one of our trader groups, and they are meeting every day. They are seeing each every day. They are trading together. They are sharing their ideas. These guys, they are helping each other. There is one mentor, and there are a lot of different ways, or even more mentors here, and they are just trying to really trade together, like in a worldwide trading room. And in this trading room, they meet each other every day, trade their strategies, and since they do it, people are improving their trading because they don't just do anything anymore. They ask others what they think about, and so they are improving their trading all the time, more and more and more. And this is also one of the reasons what I've mentioned before. Trading is basically a lonely endeavor. So our goal is also to connect people which with the same trading interest, with the same trading style together. They can find them in different groups in Traders Yard. Here, for example, there is this, for example, this Dow How trading group here, which I've just shown to you. There are already 80 members in this group. Here there is our bootcamp group. There are 107 members. So basically, what you can stream, you don't need to have to AgenaTrader to use to get into this social network. So every trader is welcome here and has the chance to meet other traders, to find other traders, and to group each other. And at the end, also, if you don't have AgenaTrader, there is in the group, if you open such a group, there is a group client. So basically, you can just use it like GoToWebinar or something similar here, that you can download it and you share your screens and work just with the group client, webinar client, or whatever. Okay, so basically, I think I'm quite done with my presentation. At this moment, I would like to forward the presentation to Brian Houston from NCS, and Brian will introduce the NCS package to you. Will show you the functionalities, how to interpret the different signals and something like this. Brian, are you ready?
I'm still there. Hope you can hear me, Gilbert.
Yes, I can hear you.
Super. Well, thank you very much for that. I'm just adjusting my screen. There we go. I pull up the Agena. Hopefully everybody can see that. So a couple of things I'll show you about. First of all, I will tell you, and thank you very much, Gilbert. That was a great introduction, a lot more than what I expected. And I have been using Agena a little bit over the last couple of weeks, so only a couple of weeks. It was very easy to install and to get ready. So a couple of things just to show you guys here. Obviously, Gilbert did mention this. You've got your 3-screen windows. So for example, we're looking at currencies here, euro versus the US dollar. So I've got the main trade, 1 hour, 4 hour, and the 1-day candle. So again, you can see the candle patterns that are going to form over here on this side. And if I make the symbols a little bit bigger, then you can see what's starting to come up. And if I want to enlarge my page, click like that, and now I can get into my trading. So I mean, for example, there's a good idea right there where you can see, obviously we have support come in right in this area here. So again, we've got, bull sashes happening, hottomies, bullish engulfing, and I guess you can see there's lots of activity happening within this market. And because I'm hooked up with FXCM, I can even go down to my favorite at this point in time. All right, and here we go. 15-minute charts. So again, I can take that info off if you just don't like all that information and details. And you can see, for example, we've already set up one trade pattern here. And this is when we get a cross. I think this was the cross, the 20 period crossing underneath the 50 period moving average. So again, we could see that there on the 15-minute window. But looking at the candle patterns, I mean, they're all still here. So you can adjust it to whether you want Nison candles strict or the other generalized, and so you can take that off, and as Gilbert was saying, you can just click on one of these on the bottom and you can see which ones are coming up. So we take off, I do like leaving them back on. I can see it much better with it on. And if we come back up to the hourlies, and I think, yeah, for example, we looked at the Australian versus the Swissy. Okay, there was a lot of information there, but again, we were looking at very good support and support areas down here. And somehow that has disappeared, so I don't show it. There we go. When we moved over to the NASDAQ, yes, so here is the support and your resistance area. So the stock is up here in and around the, yeah, it looks like 173.09, and here's your different levels of support. So again, this is exactly what we would talk about on our events in the evenings, on the daily market recap and the weekly recaps. You know, again, there's your first point, there's your pivot point, and a good point of support. Next point coming down, obviously down here, because we've had a little bit of a relax in the market, we've had a window up, so again, 2 points of support. So obviously support is an area and a regional point. And again, obviously you can see this has turned out to be a much larger support down here as well. So, you know, again, this is doing automatically all of these good things that we've been presenting to you on the daily market recap, but you can do with all of your stocks, all of your currencies in a heartbeat. And again, there's your resistance line coming to the top side. So if you're about to trade on, and this is Apple in this case, you can quite clearly see resistance very close to that already. So you might want to put in a negative trade. If you had seen a turning signal, let's say we had seen this as an evening star, that might have been a good trade to take. And you could see that your stop loss would have been very, very close, because you could have reduced that down your risk, and you would have looked towards your reward to be in towards this area here around the, yeah, so in the neighborhood of 169. So I've certainly found that Agena is very fairly easy to use. There is a lot to learn. There's a lot of good information, but in general, it's very simple. Once you set it up, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And then, as they say, you can scroll through a few. There we go. Just change this up. So there we go. So Morningstar. I've clicked on PCAR. There you go. So here is a prime example. So this is set to the dailies at the moment, and you can see quite clearly. So we've got a Morningstar that's just forming there now. So again, this is the last day. Let me just grab my pen back here. So again, candles in context, guys. So keep in mind, this is, and you can see there was a support bar down here because we already had candles confirming this area as support, and sure enough, now we have a Morningstar. So again, wouldn't this have been a good potential trade? Except for the fact that, again, we're looking at resistance or potential resistance right there. So I'm not going to place that trade just now, but again, you can see, okay, first point of resistance you see is right there, and if you're not concerned with that, then your next point of resistance that this indicator and the platform is showing you is all the way up at $72.50. And you'd be entering right now around the 68.50. So again, candle signals abound. So again, you can adjust the quite easily. So if there's a picture that's gone off the screen a little bit, you can see you've got a falling window up here. So again, a little bit of potential resistance up here, but basically that's near the top. And as Sil and I and Stu have said all along, you know, trade conservatively. Don't expect your stock to go from bottom up to the high in one go. Get in and get out, and then get in at another point and get out later again. So this has got all of the signals that we might want to look at. So let's take a look at this one as well. We've got a what's this one? Falling window in this case, right? So again, we might want to squeeze this up just a pinch. So REGM, so we've got to Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. So again, you know, let me just clean off my dirty lines there for you from the last one. So again, we're falling down here. You can see there's extra support already built in down below. So if we zoom out, just rolling the mouse bar, you can see quite clearly. This is exactly what we would be talking about. Again, support lines in here. And if we, let's just back that out a bit more, you can see why, again, there would be another support line underneath that. Morningstar right here, good point. And again, it looks like we had a little bit of support there. And if we zoom that out just a pinch more, Gilbert, if I'm doing something wrong, let me know, so I'll clean that off. But again, looking at this, you can see there was a little bit of a crack and snap underneath here. So sure enough, that appears to be a good support. So you got 3 points of support automatically showing you on this screen already. So although you've got falling windows, we're going to be looking for the positive turning signals, something like a morning star, something that we showed not that long ago on the pattern. So again, that was shown right in here. Unfortunately, you had a falling 50-period moving average, and the stock just didn't move any higher, and it only continued on down lower. But again, so now that we're getting towards these support areas, we'd look for a nice morning star or hammer or some other positive signal, and this might be a great potential trade to take on the long side, should we get the right signal and again, the right setup to go long. And let's see, if we wanted to flip back to some more Forex. So again, if I refiltered that, and we'll take a look at the 1 hours. So we've got some tweezer tops, we've got a hanging man. Okay, maybe we'll move it to the 4 hourly, take a quick look there, a bullhotomy. So let's see, so the Australian...
One thing maybe, because if you go to the drawing tools, we have an integrated freehand drawing. So if you go to this in the chart, to the pen in the at the top, you see that the indicator, the tool panel. Just click
yes.
on the chart. Just click on the chart, and then you see a drawing tool here. And when you click on that, left here, right?
Yes.
You see here freehand drawing, and you can use this one. And
trend lines.
Not trend lines, freehand drawing, because you are always drawing something. And there is also freehand where you can.
Yes, very good. Right, very good.
Yeah, this is freehand drawing. Just go down, not here, on the left side, and then you will see freehand drawing here. This you can use here for freehand drawing and.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
So we've got multiple drawing tools here, but yeah. So again, this is just showing you all the great potentiality. So again, looking at this case. So let me take that off. You know, you have something that looks very similar to a hammer. It hasn't come up with a strict Nison candle scanner information, but again, might you think that this is potentially, had you not seen all of this information over here, but again, potentially this would have looked like a hammer, although strictly it is not. But again, coming at some potential support areas. And as you can see, we did get some small bounce off of that into some resistance areas. So again, depending on your time period, and again, as you can see, I've got some yellow candles marked in here. I'll make that a little bit bigger. These yellow candles, we've changed the color of them specifically because I wanted to see the change of direction in the 20-period moving average versus the 50-period moving average. So again, this was the crossing of the 20 underneath the 50. So again, working very, very well. And again, if we move back, I'm sure we could find a bull sash, right? Mix them. Or max them, right? So again, zooming in and out, very, very easy just with your roller bar. And sure enough, now we have a bull sash. And again, why might this potentially be a good trade? I'm already going back to my old ways, Gilbert, sorry about that. Again, I would have said that this was a good point of support, and sure enough, there's already this blue line built in here, as you can see. So again, it's showing you a support area, and why? Because there was resistance here, and sure enough, we've got tested support already built into here. So again, this system is showing you, and then shows you where your next point of resistance is, 55.50. So again, maybe not a great trade. There's not a lot of movement up there, but it depends on how you do things. So again, if there's any questions, I can turn this back over to Gilbert if he's got anything further to say. But I would just reiterate that absolutely, you know, the candle patterns come up very easily, and it's been a very good pleasure to use and very easy. There, CSX. We'll leave it on CSX. I knew there was a lot of good signals on this one. So we've got rising windows, bull sashes, dojis. It just shows you instantly what's going on. So again, unfortunately, as we've always said before in the past as well, candles in context, you've got a resistance line up here and it's indicating some resistance here. Sure it is, because you've got all of these upper shadows that have come into the market, not quite at the real high where we hit up here. But again, you've got all the upper shadows, although we don't have a clear, strict Nison candle scanner signal, because of the shadows and because of certain other indicators, it might again be a good trade to potentially consider. In this case, it would have been good to go short, and you could have taken advantage of that nice large drop all the way down to this major support area, which was a nice pivot point and all the way back up. So good. I can leave that back to you, Gilbert, if you have anything further you might like to say, or Steve, or...
Yes, maybe one thing I would like to add on this, because if you are importing a package like the NCS package, you don't have to set up all these settings here. It's automatically the complete workspace space from NCS is imported like it is. So this is even for starters who are starting with trading. It's very simple to use AgenaTrader in combination with, for example, the NCS package, because everything is already set up. You don't have to set up the indicators. You don't have to set up the scanners. Everything is already there. So basically, after downloading the software, importing the NCS package, you can start off immediately with the same workspace like you see here on Brian's machine.
And I think that downloading only took me about 5 to 10 minutes. I had a very little bit of help, not much, and instantly I was up and running and very much enjoying this. You know, you've got your moving averages, and again, this is going to help to show you and help teach you the different candle patterns, you know, as Gilbert is saying. So it's quite easy to use. You've got all the Nison candle patterns already built in. Why not take advantage of them?
Yes, so even the strategies are already prepared, yes, so basically just import and start off with trading.
Good. Steve here. Yeah, hi, Steve here. Thanks so much, Gilbert, and thanks, Brian, for the great job. And you can see how easy and powerful it is. The AgenaTrader complements the NCS. Very unique features within both platforms, the NCS and the AgenaTrader. So thank you so much for giving our family at CandleCharts.com family a taste of the AgenaTrader as it works with NCS. Okay, thanks everyone.
Yes, you're welcome. Maybe I should just show and introduce the pricing, because we have
of course. Okay, yeah.
Special pricing today. Do I already? Okay,
Do you have one more slide?
Yeah.
Yes, one more slide. So if you
because we are getting a lot of questions about that. So yeah, I'm going to thank you for put that on. Yeah.
Turning it back to you, Gilbert.
Yeah.
Yes, I just need to have a look which screen I need to share. It takes a little while. Just a moment. What do you see? Which one? I think the incorrect one.
We are good. Looks good.
Looks good. Okay. Okay. So you see the pricing already. Okay. Good. Yes. So basically, Steve and together with Steve, we agreed on a really extremely good price for this event. So basically, if you are gonna take the Andromeda NCS bundle, it would, to the usual price, it would cost $3,239 US. For today's event, we agreed on a special price. Cyber Week is still going on. Black Friday was just a few days ago, so we said, okay, we are really making a good price here. So basically, the price would be for the Andromeda NCS bundle $2,285 US. So you're saving more than $1,000 when you are gonna purchase the software now. In euros, it would be, instead of 2,840, it's now the combination 1,986 euros. You're saving about 850 euros here. So basically, this is really a great offer. And I also need to say thank you to Steve that you really made this price also together with us. Great price here. So this is just something, if you take it now, you will get this price. Steve, for how long will this price be valid? What is?
I'm thinking 2 or 3 minutes. What do you think? You'd better act now, or it's too late. We'll mention that. It's only going to be a few days, but when we make this as a video, we'll have an exact day. But it's a very limited time. You had mentioned Black Friday, and you know, usually those sales only last a couple of days. So We'll have an exact end date soon, but my feeling is the sooner you order this, the sooner you could use the power of the AgenaTrader and the NCS. So, you know, to me, it's kind of like a no-brainer. It's such a powerful platform, and then when you have the candle scanning ability of NCS, it's a great synergy.
Yes, I also would say it like this. So it's really good, extremely good package, and yeah, it helps in trading. It saves so much time. It's really, the combination is just ideal. Yes, Paul, did you already post the link to the shop? I think there is something there. Yeah.
Yes, there is a link, and we'll be posting it on the video also. You know,
yes.
The link will be on the bottom of the video.
Right. Yes. So yeah. Okay. So basically, from my side, I think we have introduced everything we wanted to introduce in this webinar. Steve, do you have something to add on?
No, just again, thank you for bringing this to our CandleCharts.com family. I think they could easily see with your great introductory training the ease and power of the AgenaTrader. Most of our database and most of our family is familiar with NCS, but I really wanted to bring you on, Gilbert, and Brian. Also, he really knows the NCS with the AgenaTrader, to show everyone how great these two platforms work with each other. So thanks again.
Yes. Okay, I also need to say thank you to you, Steve, that you have invited me for this great event to be able to introduce AgenaTrader to your family. Yes, I hope we will have quite many events together, going more into detail with the NCS package in combination with AgenaTrader. Looking forward to meet you guys in various events again. Thank you very much. Have a great day, great evening.
Okay, thanks again.
Bye.